I started playing music when I was about 7 years old, and my parents brought a piano into the hallway, and I used to sort of bang on it and just bang around. I didn't know what to do with it. But because I came from a family of musicians, it seemed I might have a flair, and so I got some piano lessons early on. Started having these piano lessons with a local teacher who would put me through my grades to learn to read music. I think a little competitive element comes in all things, and in those early days I was quite almost jealous of others who could play better. But it gives you the hunger to get better and to learn more, because you're comparing yourself with others. Coming from a musical background, I could compare with an uncle who was a music teacher. When we used to visit him, he had a piano and he'd play sometimes, and other instruments, saxophonists in the family. My father's brothers all play saxophones, and my dad plays the clarinet and the saxes and drums, and my mother was very fond of singing. And it was stepping in a certain direction. And I can remember one Christmas the piano teacher gave me an album of the carols, and I was thrilled by being able to play things like Away in a Manger and Silent Night. And also she gave me a birthday present, which was the sheet music for The Sound of Music, the musical show, and Mary Poppins and Jungle Book, I think it was. And being able to play tunes that I actually had heard in the cinema was quite thrilling. I have two brothers. The older one, 3 years older than me, is more of a guitarist really. When we moved to Crawley, I found another piano teacher, and he got me up to grade 7, which is the penultimate one of the Royal Schools of Music for classical piano playing. I've been a professional musician for 40 years, well, just coming up next year, as I started when I was 16, and playing in all kinds of situations, travelling with orchestras. I was a rehearsal pianist for the Royal Ballet at one stage. Played in residencies at the Dorchester Hotel in Park Lane, Hilton Park Lane. Backed cabarets at the Talk of London. Toured with a band, 22-piece band at one stage, the Mikari Orchestra. We played mostly for corporate functions. And that band went on the QE2, but that was before I joined them. But my agent, he put me on the QE2 as a pianist, playing cocktail piano. So I'd be the chap playing while you had your afternoon tea, and then playing in the evening. And I'd play for the church services on Sunday mornings. I was on a rota to play for the church with all the other pianists on the ship. There were about 5 of us. And it was quite exciting one day, because I was called to rehearse, and as I went to meet the minister who was in charge that morning, as he approached me, it was Dr. Robert Runcie, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and he asked me if I would explain to him the order of the service. And I thought how very interesting this is, that the Archbishop of Canterbury is asking me how this church service is going to go, and I only got to play for the services every 5 or so weeks. So I realised what an amazing, humble man he was. A few years ago, I'd come off one of these cruises and I didn't have any work. And my brother had a gig in a residential home where he went along to sing to the older people. And I went along with him. And after that gig, something clicked in my mind, and I thought I could make a living out of this, or let it be my main money spinner, a way of life really. And I established it and built up a business, and now have a database of over 100 venues that I play in on a regular basis. Everything from sheltered accommodations, day centres, residential homes.
Have we got time for another one before our gentleman arrives? Okay, how about this?
In a typical nursing home situation, you have people who have something like dementia, or they might be depressed. And music is more of a therapy, particularly where I come along on a regular basis. I've discovered that there is something in music, and just having someone play it right there and then for them in a live setting, that brings out things in people's memories, and they start interacting. And maybe you hear the most amazing stories of people who don't even speak. They don't communicate with anybody in any way, and then someone comes along like me, and they're singing and playing music, and they can see the life in the music of how it excites me, and they can see me stamping my feet and dancing around, and really that element brings a lot for them, and it brings them out of themselves. And I can see the benefit of it every day, every working day.